115 attack drones, another episode of Russian diplomacy. This time, the target of the attack was Zaporizhia. As usual, civilians became the main targets of Russian criminals. I was driving my car when I noticed debris on the road ahead of me. I realized that there had been an explosion nearby. I tried to avoid it, but then there was another explosion. The airbags deployed, and the car rolled for a moment before coming to a stop. In the shadow of diplomatic gains in Ukraine, every day brings new attacks and more victims. And despite attempts to respond, Kyiv is still unable to deal Russia blows severe enough to force the Kremlin to negotiate. However, this may soon change. According to U.S. media, U.S. President Donald Trump is considering authorizing the use of long-range missiles provided to Ukraine to strike targets deep inside Russia. These are mainly air bases from which Russian bombers take off. President Trump told Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky that he is open to lifting restrictions on Kyiv's use of American long-range weapons to strike targets in Russia. For Kyiv, this is a turning point in relations with the Americans. The White House is realistically changing its rhetoric towards Russia, which is not only failing to seek an agreement, but is also escalating tensions by provoking NATO and violating the airspace of American allies.
We meet at a historic moment. Russia's brutal war aggression against Ukraine continues to rage. New technologies are transforming the very character of warfare, and the rules-based international order that has preserved our peace is under direct and deliberate challenge.
In Riga, a meeting of the alliance's highest military leaders. It is not only about Ukraine, but also about actions on the eastern flank. All countries unequivocally declare the need for cooperation in building what has been described as an anti-drone wall, a firewall capable of intercepting and destroying them.
Russian aggression extends beyond Ukraine. It's part of a broader campaign against our continent, and its impact is felt globally, from energy blackmail and economic coercion to attempts to reshape international norms in Europe, in Africa, and beyond.
At the same time, Russia and Belarus are making threats. They accuse the West of escalating the situation by raising the issue of shooting down Russian planes, violating NATO airspace. In the coming days, Vladimir Putin is also expected to present an ultimatum to Ukraine. According to the Belarusian dictator, Kyiv must accept it. Proposals concerning Ukraine, which Donald Trump heard in Alaska, among other places, and which were then forwarded to Washington for consideration and discussion. Very good proposals. If the Ukrainians do not accept these proposals, it will be like at the beginning of the special military operation. It will be even worse. They will lose Ukraine. Kyiv has already rejected these proposals. They involve renouncing the eastern and southern regions of Ukraine and international recognition of Crimea as Russian, given the recent statement by the U.S. administration, which believes that the Ukrainians have a chance to regain their lost territories. It is difficult to imagine that anyone would decide today to accept Moscow's terms and essentially declare capitulation.